any given week. Sometimes they're going to need me to do it. Sometimes they're going to need Roy to do it. Don't forget about Ryan Terrain. That guy's still, he's a heck of a back. So it's just good as in my position to have guys who you get along with, who can encourage you, who can push and motivate you, and all three of us together, we're going to make this team better. So I'm proud of Roy.
All right, welcome to the Sideline Report. I'm Marvin Jackson, and I am with Barry Barnes of LockerReport.com and Mike Richman, the Redskins historian. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Talk a little bit about these books. I mean, you're an author.
I'm the Redskins historian, author of the Redskins Encyclopedia, very comprehensive history book about the Redskins, a lot of text, a lot of anecdotes, and I'm also the author of the Washington Redskins Football Vault. Has a little bit of text in it, but what makes that book really unique is the memorabilia, game program covers, ticket stubs, press passes, contracts, Sammy Baugh's 1949 contract. Very, very special book. Nothing else is out there like the Redskins Vault.
All right, I can vouch for that. And Mike's in here sitting in for Donna Hopkins, who's not with us this week. But what a great week for Mike to be here. It's Dallas week, you know.
A lot of history between those two teams.
Yeah.
But
But first, let's talk about this past week's game. The Redskins with a big victory, last-minute victory over the Cardinals, and we saw that clip of Hightower talking about the running backs. The running backs are really strong this year, and we got a new emerging star, Roy Halou. Huh?
Right. Well, that's one of the great marks usually of a Shanahan coach team is the running game. I mean, he's had great running backs in the past in Denver, Terrell Davis, Clinton Portis. So it's great to see the Redskins generate 172 yards on the ground. I think they're going to need a really good running game to complement the passing attack. It'll make it a lot easier for Rex Grossman.
Right, and also back with Denver days with Mike Shanahan, how he had Lavelle and then also had Terrell Davis. It pretty much set the same platform
always
here.
Had more than one running back.
So when Ryan Terrain come back, they're going to be solid. But got to give credit to the O-line. O-line always taking the beating of how they're not doing this, not doing that. They definitely plowed the way for those guys to get some good runs this past Sunday.
All right, and they were just named the best offensive line this week by
John Madden.
Yeah,
that's something that's really good. They're really coming along, and I think they're going to get better as the season goes, as long as we don't have any injuries there, right?
Right. But the best part about it was that how Rex Grossman still kept his composure throughout the rest of the game, and how he didn't try to press the issue or force the ball down the field. He was taking what was given to him, and I know I'm definitely going to talk about that particular thing before the show is over.
All right. Well, we've got some comments from some of the offensive players who said some of the same things that you just said.
Oh, fantastic.
So let's go to those comments right now.
When we walked on the field, there was around 4 minutes left, and for Rex to go in there and calm gave me so much confidence. And then for the offensive line to pick up the blitzes because they were coming with it to stop us was huge.
I had complete faith in this team. I expected to win this game coming in. I said what I said at the beginning of the week, and I didn't back down from it. I expected to win this game, and I think this team expected to win this game. And I don't think anyone from the first opening play to the last, I don't think anyone got down. Rex threw a couple of interceptions early. I went over to him and told him to keep throwing the ball, and he looked at me, kind of laughed, as if those plays never even happened. And that just showed the poise that he had, but just this team, the resilience that this team has.
Rex is sexy Rexy, just cool. And for me to experience that coming in here for the first time and being in a situation like that makes me, as cool as him. At least I want to be. And so there was no fast heartbeat. I felt like I was in there confident.
I don't think there was any doubt in anyone's mind that if we did what we had to do, we can move the football and have success. So that's something that I think the leaders in our offense took pride in, and Santana and some of the guys gave everyone a challenge, and I think guys responded well to it.
I thought we ran the ball well. I thought Tim Hightower and Roy Halou did a great job of creating a lot of yards and a lot of big plays in the running game and screens. Our offensive line protected their ass off, and we got a victory.
All right. Rex Grossman there.
Well, one thing
giving some props to the offensive line.
What Hightower said about the running game, having faith in it, I think that's what Shanahan had in Grossman going for it on that 4th and 3. I mean, that was a gutsy call. I don't know if you heard me say in the press box, but I thought they were going to kick a field goal in that situation. That was a great call. 5 minutes remaining. I thought they would have gone for 3 points.
Right. My only concern about the running game was how they went away from running the ball compared to the first half to the second half. The first half, Hightower only carried the ball 17 times for 83 yards. Roy only carried the ball 4 times for 32 yards. But in the second half, total, they both only touched the ball 9 times. Lou had carried the ball six more times, finished with 75, and then that's when Hightower only carried the ball 3 more times, and he was able to finish with 96 yards. So my question was why they got away from what was working in the first half to put Rex in that situation to throw those picks. Fortunate enough that Rex was able to get his composure. He kind of reminded me of the Trent Dilfer situation back in Baltimore. How before he went to Baltimore, he was with Tampa Bay, always trying to chug the ball down the field, but when he came to Baltimore, he was more like saying, look, I'm good 30 yards and in, and it helped propel them to win the Super Bowl. And Rex kind of reminded me of that when he was in Chicago. He made a lot of mistakes trying to throw the ball deep down the field. Now he was with Washington. He knows his limits. Shanahan has allowed him to play in his strengths. That's why the Redskins are so good right now.
I think the reason that Hightower didn't carry the ball as much in the second half, I think he got banged up in the first half.
Right, yeah.
I mean, he was carrying the ball so much.
Right.
But I think it's great to have that 1-2 punch, that two-headed monster on the team. And Halou,
Halou catches passes.
He catch passes, like 38 yards receiving.
Right.
Yeah.
And they both had something the Redskins haven't had in years, some bursts in the backfield.
Yes.
And like I said last week, when you have running backs that have speed, the offensive line don't have to worry about holding their blocks too long because they're going to hit the seams quick, they're going to hit the edges quick, and when Ryan Terrain come back, the Redskins are going to have themselves a 3-headed monster.
Not only with Halou in terms of the burst, but this guy can stop on a dime.
Right.
You saw some of those moves that he made.
Right.
I mean, he was just faking out all those defenders, and he had some great carries.
Yeah.
I just think it's really a positive note that the Redskins finally have that productive running game. And given the fact that Grossman, I don't think he'll ever be an elite quarterback in the league, he needs that running game to complement him.
Right, exactly.
And I think he's gotten better in his 3 years in the Shanahan-type system. Kyle Shanahan first, now past 2 years, Mike Shanahan. And I think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And what about this new tight end we have here?
Oh, you talking about the slender?
Yeah, right.
83? Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was really key in that game. He made some big catches in the first game, and then some big catches in this game.
Tight ends is always a quarterback's best friend.
Yeah.
And for him to be out there, like I said, doing those crossing patterns, sometimes coming out his route to be in Rex's vision to hit him down the field, that was also key too, because sometimes he helped bail Rexman out of those situations. There's no telling how many more picks he would have gotten. But this, the second pick coming off Anthony Armstrong's hands, that wasn't, his fault. That
should have been a holding call,
right?
Defensive holding call.
Yeah.
That wasn't Grossman's fault.
Right.
But in terms of Fred Davis, we're seeing the best of him right now. I should say he's only going to get better.
Right.
But Cooley really isn't doing much right now. Did have the knee injury. He hasn't recovered from it, but it's great that Fred Davis is stepping up.
Right, and hopefully Cooley will get better, and we can have some 2 tight end sets sometime.
Right.
Well, that's how Fred.
Later on.
Fred was able to score out that touchdown because they had 3 tight ends out. So if there's something that to watch out for.
You never know. So
right.
we got some depth on offense. Running back, tight end, and our wide receivers. We got some pretty good depth.
The thing about Davis that Cooley was really never able to provide is that he can stretch the field. I mean, he can get downfield for some long receptions.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he's just going to be a great weapon for the Redskins to have. And we also have other receiving weapons. Anthony Armstrong is now the number 3 receiver on the team.
Right.
Last year he was number 2.
Right.
Santana Moss and Jabbar Gaffney are ahead of him now. I think that's a lot of talent to have on the receiving end.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about defense, and let's hear what the defensive guys had to say about the defense.
Coach Hass drew up some great blitzes for us. That was able to get some pressure on them, and then a lot of it was just one-on-one pass rush battles. We feel like we got the talent and the personnel around here that we can generate pass rush with a 4-man rush. So that's what we did for the most part.
Second half, they try to spread us out and run some draws, creased us a couple of times, but I think for the most part we buckled down and we made stops when it counted.
On the long ball, I think they knew where the blitz was coming from, and he just kind of faded away. Fletch hit him hard, but, but that's one of the greatest receivers to ever play. So, he's going to make plays, and we got to bounce back, and that's what we did.
Kerrigan, Rakpo, the front three, London, Rocky, they're going to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback that helps us out in the back end as far as getting picks, pass breakups, or just simple, 5-yard gains, and that won't kill us.
Josh Wilson goes down, so Brooke is forced into action. Laron's out, so Reed's starting now. At one point in time, we had Brandon Thompson out there when KB went down, so we definitely were thin at corner. But a lot of resolve. The young guys were ready to play football. They study, and coach is always telling those guys, you're one play away from being in there. So it's definitely puts a lot of pressure on them.
I felt like defense just kept fighting, handling adversity, kept fighting, and kind of won the game at the end with that turnover. It was big.
I was right there, made the tackle, and I always got to go for the ball because the coach preaches no turnover. So he did turn the ball over. I think one of our safeties picked up the ball, and that was game right there.
All right, the defense came through also for the Redskins. Big plays at the end, especially by Westbrook, forcing the fumble. Right. Talk a little bit about this defense. I mean, they're coming along too, right?
They are. Well, forcing that fumble, I mean, when was the last time we saw that from the Redskins defense to seal a win like that? They've really taken a step up in coming through in the clutch. Also, I love Ryan Kerrigan. Mm-hmm. Great first-round draft pick, and he's really complimenting Arakpo well. They're coming from both sides along the edge.
Right. Everything should go to D'Angelo Hall for what he did with Larry Fitzgerald, 101. Yes, Larry did have over 100 yards, but if he didn't control Larry throughout the course of the game, from beginning to end, he would have had more than that, and they would win the game. But thanks to D'Angelo Hall keeping him in control, they were set.
Absolutely kept him under control. Fitzgerald's such a great player. You
Right.
can't shut him down the whole game.
All right. Okay, and we had pretty good performances by the special teams as well. Brandon Banks, especially with the long punt return. So we're going to take a break now, guys, and we're going to come back and talk about Dallas week.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what this is, right?
Dallas.
I got my Dallas colors on, too.
Yeah, what's he doing on it?
Somebody got advocate
the dreaded blue and silver.
Somebody got advocate
We may have
for
to do
him.
something about that after this break.
Somebody got to look out for Dallas.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with Dallas, Barry,
He needs
and
to get
Mike, and
some new
myself.
attire.